Hey, should I bring it back?
Oh yeah, do it. What's up? You gotta do it extra long because we've been gone for too long. Pause. Yeah.
Guess what? We bike. We bike.
Is that a
We bike.
what word is that? We bike.
We bike.
We ride a bike.
No, we bike like back, like bike. We bike. Man, guess what? We are back. We are back. We are back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back.
It's good to be back.
Yes, it is.
I feel like at home right now.
I know, man. Some may notice the little change of scenery in the background. That's tough. Yeah, man, we're back. We've had a little bit of hiatus.
We had a busy summer, busy fall.
Busy summer, busy fall. Things have just been busy, and we are learning that it's a lot of work being us.
It's good work.
It's not easy being us. I mean, I'm just to put it lightly, it's not easy being us.
How many people stopped you as soon as you walked out the door? Just to like, oh my God, is that Garry?
I had to duck the paparazzi. Paparazzi was just out there flashing. And I said, listen, guys.
You have to put like extra tint on your windows when you even get gas at the nearest Wawa.
I do.
Wow.
Wait, do you want to hear a really good, really funny story though? It's not, I mean, it's along the same lines, but.
Yeah. I'm down to laugh.
I went to, it's not funny, but it was like, really?
You got my hopes up.
So I was at the AT&T store, right?
That's your carrier?
Yes.
Nice.
I'm sitting down, I'm waiting. Needless to say, I was waiting for like an hour for somebody to help me. Nah, whatever. I finally sit down with this guy, and I sit down with him, and he says, I had my Hoop Lab hoodie on, of course. And he says, you work there? I said, I do. He said, are you a trainer? I said, I am. He said, oh, that's dope. I think I'll follow you on Instagram.
No way.
Yeah.
Was it another customer or the worker?
It was the worker.
No way.
In South Jersey, not even up here.
Oh, so that's like 40 minutes?
Yeah, probably even more than that. Probably like an hour.
Wow.
Yeah. He said that he was trying to get back into basketball. And I said, well, here's a business card. Give us a call.
Yeah.
And he said, oh, definitely, I will. Yeah. But yeah, that was like the first time that I stepped out and somebody was like, hey, are you that guy? A little bit. Little light flex.
Light flex. Yo, when are you going to start interviewing bodyguards and all that stuff?
Taking applications now.
You heard it here first.
Taking applications. So if you are looking to be part of the bodyguard team, security team, please reach out.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's good, man. No, that means the word's spreading. Again, we were only, how long have we only been here? Like a year
and a half.
Yeah, a year and a half.
A little more than a half, but yeah.
Yeah, wow. That's good, man. That's
absolutely good. Yeah. But we're finally back. I don't know if anybody missed us or not, but we're back.
I missed us.
I missed us too. Like we said, it was busy. We had a lot of summer. Well, it was really our first summer that we were in full operation, right? The first summer that we were here, it was kind of like we had just opened, so summer was kind of new to everybody. Not sure the word was out there, but regardless, it was a good summer, but it wasn't as great as this past summer had been.
I mean, like you said, the first summer we had, not a lot of people knew that we had a home base, right? Because we've been renting, for so long. But this summer, man, and the word spread. people kept finding us, and you know, even a lot of college students. I know you had a lot of the college girls that came in, and no, it was. I mean, trying to look back at it now, man, and we were here from like sometimes, I would say most of the times, like either 9, 10, 11 in the morning until 9 at night.
Yeah.
Oh man, but it's good. It's the it's, you know, it's good to see, you know, the players that want to find weaknesses and start to build their abilities and skills with us, and they trust us. No, the word, like you said, like the word's spreading. I'm just even just picturing next summer how wild it's gonna be. Yeah. Standing room only.
Absolutely. That's what I see. No, it was good. It was busy. You know, and as it gets busy, the tough thing is just trying to not even understand, but realizing like how much work goes into it. Do you know what I mean? Like it's, I'm sure a lot of people just look at us and say, oh, they just train, but there's a lot of things that go on behind the scenes that, you know, not everybody gets to see, not everybody is privy to. Some get to experience just based on where they are in their basketball journey. You know, the college students that, you know, reach out for advice and, you know, those type of things. It even though we may get here, like especially in the fall, now the kids are back into school, kids are back into school, we may start our day here physically, you know, 2-3 o'clock, but our day started 5 hours before that. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I still wake up I wake up early and I start doing crazy stuff at like 8:30. You know, I even have some kids that are homeschooled and they'll train at 9 a.m. So, and then, you know, I'm not with you all the time, but I know like you're at home, like doing all the good stuff on the website and all that.
Yeah.
It's dope.
The work never stops. But you know, there's a lot that goes into keeping this operation afloat and keeping it, you know, in the front of people's minds. So it's fun, you know.
And I would say like even like the most part is for me, it's just like always coming up with new and exciting ways to teach things, right? So like I think we have a good system now where, you know, every week we're coming up with like a skill or a couple skills of the week, and then just trying to find new and innovative ways to teach it, and just kind of make it easier on the students and the players to learn and obtain it, because it can be very redundant once you start teaching the same exact thing. You know, or I shouldn't say the same exact thing. It's the same style. You know, like if you're doing whatever 2-step explosions, like, you know, try to find a new way to teach that, and really just kind of maybe filter out a way that you can find a new weakness because of the different style that you're doing it. But I think, you know, I don't think a lot of people see that, you know, like you said, behind the scenes and stuff. So our brains are never turned off.
No. Even at 3 o'clock in the morning, waking up and saying, oh, yeah, I should have did that.
You know what's crazy is like I can't remember the last time I got a full night of sleep, but I'll wake up like 3-4 in the morning and I'll have an idea and I'll text myself because I know I'll forget it. But like, it's just like a reminder, like, oh, dude, that's cool. Or let's try that.
I haven't gotten to that point, but I do, like, I've been pretty good at just kind of like whatever it is on my, you know, that I'm thinking about, keeping it there until I get to a desk or something to put it down.
Nice.
But I'm getting older, so I don't know how long that's gonna last.
Well, that's not good. If I'm already, if you can wait, but I have to write it down right away, that means I'm like way past you.
Listen, my memory is not that good. My wife will tell you, my brain automatically like retains like 2 seconds and then it's gone.
Hey, I'm Zach.
Oh man,
no, that's good. So, good stuff.
Let's see. What do we want to dive into today? I know that we've missed a ton as far as like, you know, news events and things like that. But I want to Well, before we even dive into anything else, do you know what the big news is today?
Big news today, Thursday the 8th. No.
Britney Griner.
Oh, yes.
So that's good news for the basketball community. Britney Griner was freed finally after I believe it was close to like 300 days, almost a year. So
yeah, that's crazy.
I know her family is happy about that. I know her teammates are happy about that. Her wife, her coaches, all of those, I know are all happy about it. I'm sure she's ecstatic. So that's good to see, or good news to receive this morning. So awesome for her, awesome for her family.
Yeah.
You know, good luck, and best wishes on her. Just kind of like getting back into society in that form of fashion. I can only imagine how that plays out. But yeah.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I was thinking about like high school stuff. But no, I turned Sports Center on today, and the president was there. I believe her mom was in the background. But yeah, I mean, her mom looks just so happy to have receiving that news and knowing that her baby girl's on her way home, and she can start back in her regular routine. I know it's going to be probably a hard maybe couple days adjustments, months, but yeah, no, it's cool to see the whole basketball community, and even the people that are not even in the basketball community, just kind of support and kind of just be happy before. And no, that's awesome. I'm glad. That's good news. That's great news.
Absolutely. But let's dive into some stuff that we want to just talk about. What do you got for us first? What do you want to talk about? What do you want to chat about?
Dive into.
What do you want to dive into? Like a swimming pool?
Well, I would dive into a warm swimming pool right now because it's a little cold outside.
That is very true.
But
heated.
Yeah, you know what's crazy? These like polar plunges. Like, I don't think I would ever dive into the ocean when it's freezing. Have you done that?
I have not. I'm trying to think of whether or not I would do it. I mean, I think I would do it once.
Yeah, I'll try anything once.
That might be the only one.
You want to do it together?
Pause.
No, like, so, I mean, yeah, I mean, we can kind of, we saw a lot of new faces. We saw a lot of people over the summer, and just kind of like maybe recap how important it is from the parent aspect to kind of not stay away from so much of like, I guess being hard on the student or on the player or their kid, but just kind of, backing away from being too involved when your player is training or playing. I think we talked about this on episode 1, which seems a long time ago, but not intervening too much so you can let them experience what failure is and kind of just figuring out like problem solving. Because like I said, a long time ago, as adults, we already know what the rights and wrongs are because we're on this earth for so long. But if you think about it, obviously I think there's some, maybe a parent or a coach that always would tell you, hey, that's the wrong read. Don't do that. Don't do this. But the majority of it was we had to all learn it out on ourselves. There was no social media. It's not as big as it is now. But just kind of recap on how important it is to kind of just, let your player, if they're with a trainer, with a coach, kind of just take the back seat and, just chill out.
Yeah, I think that's good. I think that I've seen it as much as we kind of, talk to or try to educate parents on, the topic. I see it subside a little bit, and then for a little bit after that, it goes back to kind of like being really involved, which there's two sides to that coin, right? Some you as a parent you want, or let me rephrase that, as a trainer you want, excuse me, you want to see your parents involved in their child's life. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? You love to see that. Unfortunately, there's a lot of kids that do not have that opportunity, but at the same time, there's only so much that you want them to be, you know.
Yeah.
And like you said, it's one of those things where you want the kids to learn and kind of figure things out, by way of making those mistakes. And if we're constantly kind of giving them the answer, or pushing them to do it in the ways that we want them to as parents, it kind of doesn't allow them to find the answer or find the solution themselves. Right? There's I forget who said it, and I think it was maybe Steve Harvey. And he said there's two things that happen with failure. He said it's not necessarily a loss, but if you look at the failure as one, the blessing, and then two, the lesson. In every opportunity or every failure, there's those two things. It may take a minute before we understand what that blessing is. It may take a minute before we understand what that lesson is. But we have to allow our kids to fail in order for them to receive the blessing and the lesson that's on the other side of it.
Yeah. No, that's good, man. I like that a lot. And that's I love that lesson part, because it's, if you think about like any like homework problem for a kid, you don't want to always tell them the answer, because now they're not thinking, they're not engaged, they're not involved in it. So if you can look at that from that aspect of it, it's, let their brain work. Let's see what they come up with. Let's see their creativity. Let's see their imagination. Let's let's just see what they can come up with. And failed or if you succeed in it, that's great. But you get the opportunity to actually be independent for a second and do it by yourself.
Yeah.
There is one thing that I think a parent that doesn't harp on their player when they're training or they're playing and letting them kind of they experience it. One thing I've been kind of going around and seeing, if that parent is surrounded by one or two or three other parents that are not like them, I feel like that parent has to kind of blend in. So, and I saw this happen where, a parent was really hard on their kid during a training session. Not particular mine, or yours, but that parent was just constantly saying stuff to that kid, and the other parent that is usually quiet, they understand, kind of felt like left out, or he needed to be a part of that group. So all of a sudden that parent started to yelling and barking signals out at his kid. And the other parent, there was four of them, and the three were doing it. And that one, it just felt like in that situation, he was left out, or he needed to be like them. So all of a sudden he started like barking signals, and it was just kind of like a shock that I don't know I don't know what you want to call it, but just trying to fit into that group or that clique. I don't know if that plays, I don't know why that played a role. I don't know, what happened, but, I wish just seeing that parent would have kind of like, told him like, hey, it's all right, let them do this instead of just jumping in, I don't know. What are your thoughts on that? Like, trying to fit in, or?
No, I do think it's like one of those things, like when you have a circle of people in anything that you do, right? There's going to be it's almost like that old saying, you're the average of your 5 closest friends or whatever, right? So if you have one or two parents in your circle group that are kind of, I don't want to say behavior, but kind of lean in towards that barking or kind of giving signals to the kids, it almost becomes like a chain reaction. Like they do feel like they have to kind of do the same thing because, or maybe they feel like, oh, well, maybe I should be doing that. Like, does that mean that I care? Does that mean that I'm
motivating,
motivating or involved? And then sometimes it just trickles down in a negative way, like, whether it be, maybe it starts out as a parent kind of like talking negatively of their child and the things that they wish that they could do better to other parents, and then it kind of like goes down, around the circle of, oh yeah, I wish my kid did this, I wish my kid did that, and then it kind of like there's an energy behind it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It's kind of like, if you think back to like when you were younger and your teachers are always tell you like, you want to be a leader instead of a follower, right? So if these group of kids are maybe picking on this kid or doing something that they're not supposed to be doing, like, are you going to be a leader and kind of step away or go into that and be like, hey, maybe I understand what you're doing, or maybe I don't understand what you're doing, but, think about this. And kind of like stopping it, but I would like I said, like I just wish that would have happened, right? But
it takes a lot. As a parent, it's obvious that some of us recognize, the behavior that is positive behavior, the behavior that is negative behavior, and just like any other kid, it takes a lot for you to kind of like step out of your shell and say, hey, maybe you shouldn't be so hard on them.
Yeah.
Because I know that a lot of them are thinking it.
Right.
We've spoken to parents that are kind of like, man, I just wish that they weren't so hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then the flip side of that is the ones that kind of like don't, I want to say partake, or kind of like don't follow that trend. You could almost see the relief or the carefree attitude that the kids have, whether it be in training or in the game. Mm-hmm. And by carefree, I mean like there's no stress, there's no worries, there's
no pressure to obviously like miss a shot, right? I know we don't want to miss shots, but it happens, right? But if you feel the pressure of, man, I have to make every shot, or I'm gonna have this. Like if you already have that thought in your head, you're most likely going to miss that shot.
What do you think is obviously as trainers we know what. Let's just take shooting for example, right? So let's just say kid goes out, they score a certain amount of points, but their parents aren't necessarily happy at the performance that they had, right? So let's just say a matter of 10 shots.
Okay.
All right, kid takes 10 shots, they only make 4 of them.
40%'s not bad.
You and I know that, but
what's the club in the NBA? 50 40 90 club?
Yeah.
That's it's 50 from the field, 40 from the 3-point line, and 90 from the free throw line, right?
Yeah.
I mean, 40 from the 3-point line, but you're 10% less from 50%, which that's great.
But I guess that's the question. Like, what is the happy level?
11 for 10. You need extra credit.
But I think
that's a good question.
I think that happens a lot. I don't know that parents fully. Let me not say that they don't do the field goal percentage, but like maybe there's a thought that 40% isn't good.
Well, I mean, you look at it like, if you look at school, like, right, 40% is failing, even 50% is failing, right? So the percentage, like if you're in the business world, you're 40%, you know, that's not good. You want to see a high percentage, right? Yeah. But when you look at sports, I mean, take baseball, right? Like, dude, I think it was Derek Jeter that said, like, I love the fact that I can play baseball and be, I can't remember what you said, but like have the almost like a very bad percentage and still make the Hall of Fame. Like, I don't know his career batting average, but like it's so like, true. Like
286 or something right, like that.
Like, so like, I mean, in basketball, I mean, obviously the highest percentage you want, but like if you study it or look at all the stats, like, yeah, I mean, I don't even know off the top of my head what's the best shooting percentage ever, but it can't be over 50. It definitely, I don't know. Yeah. I mean, obviously, if you shot one time, it's going to be like, right.
But I think even that, like, I think it rubs down on the kids, and the kids are like kind of like the same way. Like, even if we were to take them in here and we were to give them 10 shots and they make 4 of them, it's like, oh, I had a bad shooting. Like, yeah. Bro, you just shot 40%.
Yeah, right.
Like, I think we have to start normalizing, like, what's good shooting and what's horrible shooting.
And I get it too. Like, 40%, if you're just shooting alone, right, you can maybe raise an eyebrow, but still, like, that's still not bad. Like, and now if you're, like, I'm talking about just catch and shoot, right? Not even off the move, not even off the catch, like, or, you know, whatever. But obviously you want to start seeing that up there. But again, you have to be realistic. How many times are you going to just kind of be a casual catch and shoot in the game? It's not, it's bare none, right? So if you could start shooting realistically in training or in practice or on your own time, where it's, you know, it's an intense, you know, route that you're taking or an intense move that you're taking, and then you're shooting 40%, like that's good, because it's you can start to see the transfer over to the game, right? So, I mean, but the big thing with that too is like the imagination part, that I don't see a lot from players is, you know, they don't really can see the game. They can't really put themselves in a moment or see a surrounding. All right, maybe there's a clock, or all right, you know, I have less than 2 seconds to get this shot off the move. So, I mean, rather than, you know, always just doing kind of casual shots, I mean, blend it in, mix it up. Yeah. And, you know, I think you should start seeing, you know, 40% is, like you said, not horrible.
Yeah, definitely.
So one thing, I had a thought, but I'm going to have you speak while I try to remember.
Peanut butter jelly time.
I had a question for you, but just slipped my mind. But
no, that's good. So, but I mean, I guess the long story, or the takeaway from it is parents, we need to do a better job at, again, allowing the kids to kind of fail. Yeah. Allowing them to solve the problems that they're facing, allowing them the opportunity to kind of get through the struggle that they're having, right? Whether it be confidence struggle, whether it be a dribbling struggle, whether it be a shooting struggle, we have to have confidence in ourselves or confidence in them that they're going to get through it. Yeah. But in order for them to get through it, it's going to be a lot harder than us just kind of beating down on them figuratively, and just kind of like trying to motivate them in that negative way. They're gonna get through it. They can do it, but they just need the time and the space to navigate it themselves.
Yeah. And I remember I was gonna say too is, you know, you have to look at each player's personality, right? So I know, like, if, you know, you had your own kid, the way you were brought up might have been, you know, being told in a nice manner, like, hey, it's okay. Maybe that you know, if you try to tell your kid like, you know, the nice way, hey, it's okay, maybe that motivates them, maybe it's not, but you have to understand what kind of personality you're dealing with, right? So I know kids, if you yell at them, if you tell them, you know, all these bad things, yeah, it motivates them. But then the other kid, you know, if you do the same thing, they shut down completely.
Yeah.
But you know, the same thing. If you're nice to one kid, maybe it doesn't motivate them, and then you're nice to this kid, it motivates them. So you have to understand that, you know, even if it's your kid or not, like from a coaching aspect, like you have to really feel out your kid's personality and what is the best tactic. But you know, if you're going to a service, there's, you know, whether it's a training service, if you're letting your player play for a coach, like you should not be intervening in their job, in their service, right? So think about the same thing, like if someone came to your job and they you know, try to step over your toes, or you know, I'm not saying that happens here. I've seen it in so many gyms that, you know, it's like, then why are you even going to this person, or why are you letting this person coach your kid? So, you know, it's take it back.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
And, you know, like what you were just saying is a good way to put it, is just kind of let them handle it, let them kind of problem solve, you know, be there, assist them. But, you know, at the end of the day, they have to learn for themselves, you know, the rights and wrongs, and, you know, definitely help, but let them do it.
No, you're absolutely right. I wanted to jump ship a little bit. I wanted to come up with a joke there, but I couldn't think of one. But I
was going to say, do I need a raft? Inflatable boat.
I wanted to kind of jump ship and kind of talk about something that comes up every time this year, in regards to players kind of stepping away from the training. Of course, as trainers, we see that every year. It's something that we try to educate a little bit more. And I think that there's a big misconception specifically with what we do versus everybody else. And by no means am I trying to say that we're better than everybody else. No.
Intermission. 30-second pause.
6 hours later. No. By no means am I trying to say that, but I think when parents and coaches think about training, they think about, I guess, what we describe as the conditioning, hard, nose to the ground, sweating, body contact, 1-on-1s, 2-on-2s, 3-on-3s, bodies on the floor, you know, that kind of thing. And we're just not that. So I understand from a parent or a coach's perspective. Well, first of all, I think there's two different the coach's thought process is different from the parent's thought process. From the coach's perspective, we're not that. We're not out to kind of run the child or the player into the ground. We are really, really focusing on just the individual details, right? So when we talk about the individual details, it's not as harmful as one might think when compared to like other trainings and things like that. You know what I mean? So I think from a coach's perspective, you got to understand that yes, they are coming to train in their own time. That's not, you know, interfering with what you guys are doing. But at the same time, we're protecting, we're helping, we're guiding, and giving the kids all the things that they need to get through the season, which is, in essence, a plus for coaches.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? We're on the same team when it comes to doing what we're doing. So all of that, I think the coaches have to understand. From the parents' perspective, I know it comes down to, I think it's two things. One, I don't have time. Yeah. And then two, comparing the practices that they're getting in middle school or high school to what they're getting here. And it's really a comparison of apples and oranges, and it doesn't equate the same.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think the best way to put it is in-season upkeep, right? Or in-season, you can find a better word for that, but basically just staying up to date with all the progress that you made. I think I was actually talking to, well, I don't think, I know I was talking to somebody about this, but, kind of look at the scope of, let's say, you've been training for a marathon and you've been running for 7 months, which is about like, how long is the high school season? About 3 months, right? Yeah. So, you've been, if you look at a marathon, you wouldn't just go out every day for 7 or 8 months and just, run your butt off and be in the best shape, and then all of a sudden take 3 months off and then try to, run all these marathons, right? So, and I think it goes back to, maybe your first couple of weeks of that marathon, those marathons are going to do great, but if you stop training, right, then it's all downhill from there. But no, I mean, it's very specific, and I think we do a great job of in season when any of our high schoolers come in. We don't have a lot of college kids that come in, maybe during the holiday breaks. But it's really just fine tuning the techniques, the mechanics. A lot of shooting where it's a lot of maybe some finishing, but it's not. If you want to say balls to the wall, but it's not high intensity training, right? So, it's
not hard on the body.
Not hard on the body, right? So the kids make it as hard as they want, right? But again, we are trying to fine tune it all, the mechanics, the techniques, whether it's any hand placement on their shots, just equipping them, from long distance range shooting, maybe still different styles of finishing around the basket. But it's very, very crucial that, you keep an update on your skills throughout the season, because, when the games start to be, count toward the end of the season, you want to be, at the top tier of your performance. And I think that's what we do a great job of is understanding, like, I'm not going to torture you today. This isn't a boot camp type session, which again, none of our really sessions are like that. It's more of, we're going to give you this and we want you to attack it 100%. But, during the season we're, I guess, intelligent on how to modify our workouts.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. And the other part of it is, like, I think that there needs to be more emphasis on the mental part of it, right? So if you're only dealing with your coach or your parents during the season, like, where is your escape? Mm-hmm. Like, where is your time to kind of, like,
your individual time, just to 100%.
And by all means, we are very, very we're very helpful in that category. We lend great advice, I'd like to say, in times that it's necessary. But at the same time, it's very light. It's very informal when kids come in. Mm-hmm. Obviously, we're getting to work. There's a learning process in it. But it's not... it's just light. Mm-hmm. It's light mentally. It's light physically. And it's just the necessary work to kind of upkeep, like you said, on the things that they've been working hard on all off season.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even just thinking back from a player, like, let's say, I did have a bad game, not shooting 4 for 10, but, I just, maybe I had too many turnovers. But my escape would be, I want to be alone in a gym, or I need to get to a gym. And, unfortunately, I think times have changed where players just don't have that luxury. And it's obviously too cold out. You can definitely go outside and shoot, but you kind of just want to find your safe place and your safe haven and just be in a gym alone or with a trainer or, a couple other people, and just kind of, relax your mind, forget about it, and kind of start building better memories from that last game or that last performance that you had. But, that was always my escape, was trying to get into a gym alone and maybe just outshoot like my arm where it would just kind of be numb, but just to get those memories out of my head from that previous performance.
Absolutely. But so the takeaways from this is more or less, coaches, your players are in a very safe place when they come into work here. They're very, very in tune with our guests. I guess what I'm trying to say is our work schedule, the way that we go about things, and we're on the same team as you. We want you guys to win as many games as possible. We understand the value of the players that are coming in, and we want to make sure that they're best fit for when you need them.
Yep.
So there shouldn't be any kind of
hesitation
or anything against what we're doing. It's just, hey, let's work together. Let's get it done. And we're here to help. We're not trying to, we're not for self, put it that way.
Well, and the main part is the player, right? So you're trying to equip the player to be the best player that they possibly can be. So why not lend an extra hand or a helping hand? And I think you said it great, is, we're not putting them in a position where they're going to get hurt. We're not putting them in a position where they're going to be, just a bunch of wear and tear on their body as the season goes on. It's more of like I like getting pedicures, but it's almost like gotta protect those feet, man. No, it's just kind of like a self-soothing for the body, kind of just, get back to the way it was and start fresh.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I'm right with you, man.
Concur.
I concur. I love that word. I use that word all the time, and no one's like, what?
Concur.
Come on, man.
Who is Kerr? No. But yeah, man, I think that listen, we're all for the players. Parents, I know it's hard for you to find time, especially those with multiple kids, but hey, let's set aside some time, at least once a week where players can get in and kind of, again, release or have a release mentally. But also, keep up to par with their skills. Let's make it happen. We're on your team too, and that's that.
Yeah. I was thinking like midway through this, it's like we're like a Netflix show, and this is season 2. Like season 2 just really.
Season 2.
Season 2 of Dishin Dimes, episode 1.
Oh man, but yeah.
No, it's a good little recap, man. I think it's good, especially if I think we obtain a lot of new followers on this platform, on the podcast, and with our facility too. And it's a good recap for our previous listeners and viewers, and obviously the new ones. Yeah, no, I like it, and we love the questions. We love answering all questions. I think we're better than Derek Jeter, but I think we're batting 1,000 with all of the questions being asked to us.
I think so too.
I think we give A++ answers.
Yeah, and we haven't even dove into our resources yet. Like if you think about
that's
it, like
the thing.
I mean, I don't know about you, but me, I mean, I might ask you something, but that's in house. But we haven't had to dive outside of,
our jurisdiction.
Jurisdiction.
Yeah. No, yeah, it's spot on.
So I mean, that must either you guys aren't asking great questions or we're just
keep getting smarter. I do play a lot of chess still. Working that brain, baby. You have that Rubik's Cube over there.
Yep. Brain games. Oh, man. But yeah, man, first episode back. It was fun. Hopefully it was informative for parents, coaches, listeners, whoever is maybe thinking about coming in, who hasn't come in yet. I don't know what you're waiting for, but
the door is open.
The door is open.
Right to our left, right now. It was good, man. Thank you for putting this on. Garry, take flight. Dude, you know what's crazy? I went to a Jets game, and that's their saying is take flight, and you're not even a Jets fan.
I know.
That's crazy.
I wanted to sue him.
You should have. Who had it first?
I think I did.
Wow.
I think I did. On Twitter, they're #TakeFlight.
Wow.
So every time that they take flight, I'm like,
it was all over the stadium.
Did somebody call me? Or
yeah. Why I keep getting messages from New York, East Rutherford? What do you want?
I don't even know you. Why are you hashtagging me? Don't hashtag me.
Fly birds.
And I play basketball. I don't do football.
Yeah, that's wild, man.
Yeah, but yes, no, I do know that. So Jets, I want.
Yeah, we're calling you out.
New York Jets, I want my name back.
We come up with a different slogan for them. What would you even say? Instead of take flight, take air,
fuel up.
Fuel. That's pretty dope.
Yeah, see,
fuel up.
Makes more sense.
Yeah, I like that.
You're a jet, fuel up.
I like that. I'm gonna start the hashtag.
go Jet, fuel up.
I love it.
Oh man, but
that was cool.
Till next time, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes,
we will catch you on the flip side.
You know we haven't said in a while. What happened to peace?
Peace.